Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and I am back in Nairobi. The third president of the Republic of Kenya, Mwai Kibaki, passed on last Friday. That is the very day that I was traveling back home. So when I was going home, I was talking to someone in the car, and we had a very lengthy discussion on what exactly was going to happen and how the burial is going to be conducted. Of course, we were all in agreement that it was going to be a state burial. But the question was, why did Raila leave the country for the US tour, even though the country was mourning Kibaki? Then he was telling me, and I happened to realize it was the truth, that Kibaki's state funeral was going to be taken over by the military. And so there was no special role that Raila Odinga was going to play, and he could just get to the US tour, then fly back to attend the burial ceremony, the exact burial ceremony. So yesterday, the Friday, 29th, Raila was in Nyayo, and then today, the 30th, Raila was in Odaya. So the question that I want us to ask ourselves is this, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think would have happened? How do you think the burial would have been if that burial was not taken over by the military? And I was trying to compare between Kibaki and Moi. President Uhuru Kenyatta is privileged to, let me not say is privileged, but is in history to be a sitting president. By the way, he is the only remaining sitting president. And under his tenure, he has lost two previous presidents. That is Moi and now Mwai Kibaki. Both of them are his predecessors, consecutively. But then, if politicians will be left to dictate what happens, then I can tell you that Mwai Kibaki's burial was a political mileage. President Uhuru Kenyatta, in his own wisdom, decided to make Mwai Kibaki's burial a close, full responsibility of military and Kibaki's family. Now, let's look at some two instances that have happened. On Thursday, the president was greeting the dignitaries that were present at Parliament. And this photo emerged where he did not have a handshake with his deputy, William Samoei Ruto. Now, people in this country knows the now simmering bad blood between Uhuru and his deputy William Ruto. But that was there. That also played out in Nyayo. You could actually just dot the lines. Now, I want us to look at something. When Jimmy Kibaki was speaking yesterday, Jimmy Kibaki gave credit to Uhuru Kenyatta and Deputy President. Now, what I understand, and I think it was captured in the sty, if I'm not wrong, that after Kibaki passed on, yes, Ruto was in Western, so he cancelled, he was doing the economic bloc sessions, conferences there. So he cancelled and traveled back to Nairobi. Then from Saturday, the Uhuru, Deputy President William Ruto and his staff at Harambee House were calling the family on how they could help or how they could work together. And Jimmy mentioned about this. So when I listened to this, my question was, if Ruto was to help, what kind of assistance or what kind of help do you think Ruto would have offered? Because if it is the finances, there was already a committee. Kibaki's state burial, I don't even think any member of the family was asked to pay even a shilling. It is part of his retirement. The state burial is part of his retirement package. And Deputy President, being a senior most government official in this government, he knew very well that President's Mwai Kibaki's burial is taken care of. So, and Jimmy also mentioned that I think the last 6 months has been tough for the late Kibaki. And at some point when he needed urgent medical care, the president will actually commission a chartered plane to fly Mwai Kibaki out of the country. So the question was, if Ruto was to help, what would he help? And why do you think he was coming over? Then I realized one thing, that the fact that the Kibaki's burial was actually taken over by the military locked out political players. Because if this was not a military affair, and what Ruto did was then, because he knew that the military are in close coordination with the president, the office of the president, he decided to go through the family. You know, and this is expected because, as to what we are saying now, is that Ruto is trying to posture as his posture, or rather is trying to bring a supremacy battle between him and Uhuru Kenyatta, who is the kingpin. And today the Saturday, the burial that is going to be held in Othaya, the burial that is being held the burial that was held in Othaya, is showing what exactly we are talking about, the rivalry. And that has been there. Now, in this video, I want to show you how the state burial of Kibaki being taken over by the military really blocked Ruto's fortunes to win some political mileage in Kibaki's death. If you ask me, I think if you listen to Raila's speech yesterday, of all the political leaders, the one that worked with Mwai Kibaki, both hard times and good times, is Raila Odinga. 2002, Kibaki Tosha, when Kibaki got the accident, how Jaramogi Oginga Odinga told Kibaki decided to pick Kibaki from Makerere University to come and make the first manifesto of KANU, and how Kibaki became the first executive director of KANU, you know, and all the way to the constitution when he opposed Kibaki in 2005, 2007 post-election violence, the handshake, then after that they came over and been a government together. Honestly, people who experienced Kibaki, both positive and negative, that one person, Kibaki's story starts with Jaramogi Odinga and ends with Raila Odinga. That's the truth. And sometimes facts don't lie. So, all in it was supposed to be a political mileage for some of these fellas. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you why, and I support this, giving it full responsibility of state burial. Full responsibility. I can tell you. There is this clip of a gentleman from Bungoma who is claiming to be grandson of Kibaki. And he was crying at the entrance, I think, of the parliament. He wanted to see Kibaki. I don't understand why he was being blocked anyway. And there may be, this is Kenya, maybe there's some truth to what exactly is happening. Then yesterday in Nyayo, during the Requiem Mass, he also crashed the protocol and asked, I think, the presiding bishop to try and to give him an opportunity to say something. And I kept on wondering, how exactly did this guy get there? So these are some of the few things that have really happened. Now, ladies and gentlemen, kindly, if you're watching this video and you have not yet subscribed, kindly take a second and subscribe, click the notification bell, and also give us your feedback on what have you learned on Kibaki's burial being taken over by the military. But are you in Nairobi and its environs, that is Kiambu, Kitengela, Machakos, or are you staying in these high-end places in Nairobi, like Karen, Runda, Lavington, and all these places where you experience, by the way, I also understand Utawala, someone was telling me, Jana, Utawala also has that problem, and experience frequent blackouts. Then you need to check out on Instalight Company, the first and the best company that is offering power backup systems. They have different packages ranging from 125,000 all the way to 195,000, and it can get to more depending on what exactly suits your need. Now, going solar is very interesting because the Installate team can actually integrate the solar power and your water boiling system, so that in this you can reduce your electricity bill to zero. By the way, kama kuna vitu zinakula stima ni shower and water boiling systems. Now if this is integrated well, then it will actually work on reducing on your bill. So can you talk to them here? The number is 0722 818 0722 818-883. Yes, please make it clear that you have received it from Kevin Oduor. Now, mine is just a bit of an observation. Jimmy Kibaki said that Ruto called him on the weekend. This story had been published earlier. I think I read it on probably on the Star on Tuesday. So Ruto was already in contact with the family. Now, that first, it clipped on what exactly Ruto would have done, because like Jimmy was saying, Ruto talks to them, but there is nothing that Ruto could do because everything was taken over by the military. The fact that it was taken over the military locked out Nyeri leadership and UDA leaders from Nyeri who may have hijacked the process. And you could see on Tuesday, I listened to an interview by Mwai Kahiga, I think it was in Citizen TV, and was saying the way they are making efforts and they are making also other plans within the county to make sure that to make sure that they also participate in that burial. But then one thing I noted was this, like you see the Kenyatta hospital there that was renamed Mwai Kibaki Hospital. I think yes, that was a bit of a coordinated effort through even the county government. But Mwai Kahiga is in UDA, supports William Ruto. The Gachagua, who is also from Nyeri, and by the way, Kibaki's casket also passed through Madeira and to Karatina, heading to even to Kongoja, I think Kongoja, then to Adada. I'm not very privy to that area. So, the fact that there was a military presence, I think the influence, or rather the role that could be played by the Nyeri county was underscored. And if they could be given prominence, I can tell you that they were going to take that opportunity to politic. They were going to do, if they could be given the powers that, no, look here, you're the people who are going to design where the posters are being put, or you design the posters of Kukaribisha Wageni, Nyeri, and things of Kibaki, you'll be seeing a Kibaki and a Ruto in the same poster. But I was keen because I was talking to a journalist there, I was just asking him, so how exactly, when there is such an event, there are roadside billboards, who is in those billboards? Then he was telling me that, okay, he's not seen much of the presence because like the military won't invest in such. But if county government was taking it, it would be that one. Now Gachagua, whilst talking in parliament, I think when they were eulogizing the president in parliament, that was on Tuesday, I think it was the very Friday Kibaki passed on, he was just taking the time to discredit Uhuru's government compared to what Kibaki did. And now that was, I was listening and I was like, this is already a red flag. These guys, if this is what they are looking for, because if they were to take political mileage, that is what they were going to do. And you listened to Ruto yesterday saying that Kibaki had done more than what Uhuru has done. That is the truth. But that is not what exactly is the reality. Kibaki performed well in economy. Uhuru did perform well in economy. But there are other aspects like the infrastructure that Uhuru actually upped the scales from Mwai Kibaki. So you cannot really underestimate the president. Now, number 3, with the presence of the military, the classified audience was fragmented. And this morning, I was just following on how that the event is being coordinated. Like, there are 4 security checkups. There's a guy from Kisii who was saying that he was in awful combat and he was told to rest down so that they do a check. Then you realize, I think from the one I was watching, that women were being frisked this side, taking a different direction, and men taking a different direction. So what this happened, because the military also has the NIS, and when there is a plan, because there was that supremacy plan, people are being paid some money to attend that burial, and when a leader, maybe Ruto or Uhuru, is talking, it's not just Ruto organizing, even Uhuru's handlers can organize, talking, maybe they receive the cheers, then the one with the one that will receive the huge cheers are the most, will be the most supreme. You understand? It's a very petty politics. But then that's where we are. That's the tragedy we are in. So the fragmented, that audience is fragmented. If someone will be cheering from that corner, the other person is from this corner. So it will not be perceived as people are really organized. Then I think also there is issue of limited political utterances. I followed yesterday in Nyayo. Yeah, they are not politicking a lot. In fact, I think in my own analysis, in my own perception here, is that they're more talking about Kibaki. You know, they're talking about the history of Kibaki. And people have always said that Kibaki did this, Kibaki did that. My own opinion is there is that which Kibaki did that no one else did. And there is that which Moi did that Kibaki did not do, and there is which Uhuru has done that not even the fifth president is going to do. Everyone has his own priority. Kibaki's priority was economy, because he was inheriting a government from Moi, a government that was at its deathbed. Understand? So when Uhuru also took over from Mwai Kibaki, the priorities were different. By then, Uhuru's priority first was the electricity. You know, then electricity and the infrastructure, remember the standard gauge railway. So all this really could not allow him give economy prominence. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm not defending Uhuru Kenyatta, but then I'm waiting to see what exactly is going to happen and how this is going to turn out. If you're watching this video, kindly take a second and subscribe. And I also want to say thank you very much for your continued support. I traveled back to Nairobi safe, even though I'm not yet strong because I was a little bit unwell. But yes, we are here, and let's see more in the next analysis.